control tests of September 2022. So we are going to start on the first question of that question paper. That is our question one. The question reads that the Letemo family has drawn up an income and expenditure statement for the month of July. Study the statement and answer the questions that follow. So you are given the income and expenditure a statement whereby we've got income on this side and we've got expenses on the other side. So beneath that, the first question is explain the difference between fixed and variable expenditure using examples. And of course, fixed expenses are expenses that do not change from time to time or from period to period, whereby variable expenditures they do change from time to time. So with putting down the explanations in terms of fixed and variable will bring out the difference and that is there. So on 1.1, we are saying fixed expenses. Specific expenses are those that do not change from time to time. And obviously they must be paid regularly. Regularly, such as monthly and such as monthly, or it might be monthly or quarterly, but obviously it will be regular. In examples, we can give examples of rent. Rent paid is going to be paid monthly, which is a fixed expense, and it is the same amount that is going to be paid monthly. So you can also give example of a bond repayment. And then from there, we also bring out the meaning of variable expenses. So in terms of variable expenses, we are saying variable expenses obviously that they are also paid regularly, but the value changes from time to time. So we have examples of electricity as a variable expense. So that this is what we've in terms of the difference that is there uh, be between fixed expenses and variable expenses. So this is the first part that we have, and that is 1.1. Then 1.2, identify any occasional expense. So occasional expenses are the expenses that we do not see in each period. For example, monthly, it won't be appearing in each and every month, but you would see these expenses coming in occasionally. So that is what we have. So we check which type of expense can we talk about. We go to the expenses column and try to see any expense that we can include, which does not occur in each period. So we have got cell phone screen repair is something that is not paid uh, from period to period, but can be paid once in a while. So we have for 2,000 rands, the cell phone screen repair indicates an occasional expense. So on 1.2, we are saying cell phone screen repair. Then we go to 1.3, determine the couple's salaries is a simplified ratio. So we go to the couple's salaries and we see that the salaries are indicated as 22,000 and 18,000. And of course, we've got Miss Letabo's salary and Miss Letabo's salary. So 22,000 is to 18,000. So that's our ratio. We have 22,000 is to 18,000. And of course, we can simplify it to the lowest terms, whereby we can divide both sides by 2,000. So with that, you see that if you say 2,000 into 20,000, you get your answer is 11. And 2,000 into 18,000, you're going to get your answer is 9. So this becomes the simplified ratio. So remember our question, determine the couple salary is a simplified ratio. So this is the simplified ratio that we have as 11 is to 9. Then we go to the next part, 1.4, calculate the family's total income, value A and expenditure value B for July. So we can start by total income, whereby total income we are going to add all the income that we have, 20,000 plus 18,000. We also add uh, 14,000. Also, we are supposed to add so that we get the total of income. So it is equal to 22,000. And then we add 18,000. We also add 5,000 and we add 14,000. So we add it, we see that the total we are going to get is going to be 59,000 rands, which is going to be the total for our income. So we move on and add the second part, which is the total for our expenditure, which is the value B. So for expenditure, we are going to say 14,850 plus 8,000 plus 1,280 plus 3,230. And then we also add our 8,400, 1,700 plus 3,200 plus 2,700. And then from there, we add our 800 plus 3,850 plus 2,000. And we add 2,400 plus 6,400. And of course, we're going to get a total. We get a total of 58,810 rands. So this becomes our total for our 1.4. So moving on to the next part, which is our 1.5. Ms. Letabo claims that in July they had a deficit. Verify whether the family has a deficit according to Ms. Letabo's statement. So of course, when there is a deficit, we are supposed to have our expenses are more than our income. So we can calculate the surplus or the deficit by saying income minus expenses. When you get a positive, it's a surplus. When you get a negative, it becomes a deficit. So we can verify that by saying this is now 1.5. We're going to say income minus expenses, whereby the total for income, we got it as 59,000 rands. When you subtract the expenses figure, which is 58,810, so it like that, we're going to get a positive of 190 rands. So this becomes this is a positive, which is a surplus. So according to the statement, we can just refer back. The question is saying, Ms. Letabo claims that in July they had a deficit, of which it's not a deficit, it's a surplus. So we can make a conclusion by saying, therefore, the statement is not valid. So that's what we have on that part. That's 1.5. Then we go to 1.6. Explain why Ms. Letabo's family will have a deficit in August. So in August, the statement is saying in August it will be a deficit, and why, according to information given. So you'd see that according to our income, there is a Ms. Letabo's mid-year bonus that we have that comes uh, twice a year. So obviously there's going to be a mid-year, and then there's going to be an end-of-year bonus. So in the next month of August, there won't be this income of 14,000. So it means the income is going to reduce by 40,000, leading to a deficit. Because already the difference that we calculated is 190. So it means we're going to have a subtraction of 14,000, which is going to lead to a negative. So that's the reason why. So 1.6, we are saying in August, they will not receive they will not receive a mid-year bonus of 14,000. A mid-year bonus of 14,000 rands, leading to a deficit. So basically, that's what we have for 1.6, and 1.6 is the last question on question one with 17 marks. So we can move on to the next question, which is going to be our question two. So question two reads, Abby decides to start a business suing Pacman decays on square cushion as shown below. So the radius of Pacman's mouth is 10 centimeters. So obviously we are saying this is 10 centimeters. And then we're given formulas for circumference. We have formulas for circumference. We have got area of square, area of circle, and then the pi we are given it as 3.142. So basically that's what we have. And then on 2.1 it reads, Army will use black piping around the apartment's face. Calculate the length of black piping she will need rounded to 1 decimal place. So very important that we are rounding off to 1 decimal place. So we refer back there. So the question requires us to calculate the length of black piping she will need. So you'd see that black piping is going to be around the shape that we are given there. That is starting from here, going, and then it goes inside with the radius, and then it goes again with the second radius. So this is going to be the length of that pipe main. So with that now, it means we are going to calculate the circumference of this not complete circle from this point going this side to this point. So you can see that this is representing 3/4. So with that, we know that the formula for circumference is pi d, and the radius we're given it is 10 centimeters. So it means, remember our diameter is equals to 2 times our radius. So it means our radius is 10 centimeters. We are going to say our diameter is equals to 2 times 10, and then we get our diameter is 20 centimeters. So with that, we are going to use the formula pi d, whereby pi we are given it as 3.142. So we are saying 3/4 pi d. Yes, this is not a complete circle, so it is 3/4 complete. So I can say 3/4 pi d. So in that case now, we say 3/4, and the 3/4 we multiply it by pi, which we are given as 3.142. We multiply by diameter, which we calculated to be 20. So we calculate by 20. So with that, we see what we get from there. So our answer, if you calculate correctly, is supposed to be 47.13. 47.13 centimeters is our units are in centimeters. And we go back to the question is saying rounded up to 1 decimal place. So to 1 decimal place, obviously we are going to come to 1 is our 1 decimal place, and we check behind, we've got 3, which is in the range 0 to 4. So it's going to remain as 47.1 centimeters. So that becomes our final answer on that part, which is 2.1. Then 2.2 requires us to calculate the area. But of course, we're given the formula again for calculating the area. We're given that the area of Pacman's eye is 12.6 square centimeters, rounded off to 1 decimal place. Army will use yellow material for the face. Calculate the amount of yellow material needed to create this face, excluding the eye, in square centimeters, rounding your answer to 1 decimal place. So obviously, we are going to have the area excluding the eye. So we are going to find area of the Pacman's eye. We're going to the Pacman's eye we're given is 12.6 square centimeters. So we are going to calculate the area of the face. Then after calculating the area of the face, we remove the Pacman's I, which is 12.6. So that the remainder will become the required part. So with that now, we are also going to use the face that we are given is 3/4, 3/4 full in terms of the circle. So we calculate the area of the circle. So on 2.2, we are going to use area of a circle as pi times r squared, of which we are saying is 3/4 full. So we are saying 3/4 times our pi times our r squared. So that's how we are going to calculate it. So from that sense, we are now going to say 3/4, and then we multiply our pi is 3.142. Our r is 10 centimeters is indicated at the beginning of the question, that the radius of Pacman's mouth is 10 centimeters. So we are going to multiply it by 10 squared. So that's how we are going to calculate it. And to see that area. So this is our area. Our area will become, if you calculate correctly, we're going to get 235.65 square centimeters. And you round it off to one decimal place. Remember, one decimal place is here. We check behind, we've got our 5, which is going to change our 6. And it will remain as A is equals to 235.7. So this is square centimeter. So very important, and it becomes your final answer on that one. So this is the total area that we have. And remember, we're going to remove this at 4.6 square centimeters. So we are going to say 235.7 square centimeters, and then you subtract the 12.6. Which is going to lead to the final answer of 223.1 square centimeter. So this becomes the area that we are looking for. Then from there, we move on to the next question, which is going to be, we check in terms of the next question, which is obviously going to be question 3. Remember, our question 2 is got a total of 7 marks. For question 3, it reads a new playground is going to be built in a nursery school. One end is a triangle and the other end a semicircle. The plan is below. So this is the plan that you're given. Then you're given the following formula may be used, whereby we have got area of a circle given as pi r squared. We've got area of a triangle, half base times height, a circumference of a circle, 2 pi r. So first question is calculate the total area of the playground, rounded to the nearest whole number. Very important, to the nearest whole number with 6 marks. So the playground is given as this shape. So you can see that we have got 2 shapes that we have. We've got a semicircle that we have on this part, and then we've got a triangle. So we're going to calculate the area of the semicircle. This is half a circle. And then after that, we calculate the area of the triangle. Then we add the 2 to get the total area. So with that, we are going to say our area of semicircle, we're going to use the area of a circle, pi r squared, then we multiply the half, because it's not a complete circle. So we're going to say half. So this is area of a circle. We're going to say half times pi r squared. So we are saying half times pi is 3.142. 3.142 times r, which we are given the diameter is 36 meters here. So radius, remember radius is equal to half diameter. So let's say 36 divided by 2, and you're going to get your 18. So we say 18 squared. So we calculate and see what we get on that part. So we're going to get your answer is 509.004. So with that, we see that this is our we're given our units as meters, so it's going to be meter squared. And we are going to round it off to the nearest whole number as indicated. And our whole number is here. So we check behind, we've got a 0, which is not going to change our 9. So our final answer becomes 509 meters squared. So this is the area that we have of that same circle. So we are left with the area of the triangle that we have here. So the base is 36 meters, and uh, the height we're given it is 39 meters. So basically we are saying this is the height, and this is at the base. So with that, we use the formula area of a triangle half times base times height. So it's going to be half times base 36 meters times height 39. So obviously this is over 1 over 1. So with that, we calculate. You'll see you're going to get your answer is 702 meters squared. So to get the total area, is equals to 702 meters squared, and then we add the 509 of the same circle, and we get a total of 1,211 meters squared. So that's what we have on that part. So we move on to the next question, which is going to be our question 3.2. 3.2 is the playground. We have a concrete surface, and the concrete surface costs 98 rands per meter squared. Calculate the cost of covering the playground in concrete. So, of course, after calculating the area of the playground, we got it as 1,211 meters squared. And of course, now we have 98 rands per meter squared, so it's going to be 1,211 meter squared, and then we multiply by 98 rands to get the total, which is going to be 118,678 rands. So this becomes your answer for 3.2. So with that, we move on to the next part, which is 3.3. The cost of building the playground, including concrete and AstroTurf surface, is 234,568 rands. The school needs to purchase equipment which costs 53,478 rands, and paint which costs 12,368 rands. The cost of labor is 30% of the equipment cost. Calculate the total cost to complete the new playground. So of course, total cost, we're going to say this 234,568 rands plus 53,478 rands plus the paint, which is at 12,368 rands. And then we also add this 30% of equipment cost, of which equipment cost we are given it as 53,478. So our 3.3, for 3.3, we are supposed to calculate the total cost. So we say 234,568 rands. And then we add the 53,000. This is the 53,478 rands. Then we also add the 12,368 rands. Then finally we add the 30% of equipment cost, which is 30% of 53,478, and of course 30% is a decimal. If you say 30 over 100, you're going to get it as 0.3. So you say 0.3 times 53,478. So with that, we calculate. We see that if you multiply 0.3 times 53,478, you are going to get it as 16,043. 16,043 rands 40 cents. So you now add, you see that the total that you're supposed to get is 316,457 rands are 40 cents. So this becomes your total cost. So we are saying this is the total cost. Total cost. So this is what we have on 3.3. Then we move on to the next part, which is now 3.4. So 3.4 is the school board says that a fence must be built around the playground. The straight sides of the playground are each 43 meters long. The school has been presented with two options. Option one, poles must be placed at 3 meters intervals to build the fence. And then we have what the poles cost 125 rands each. Then option two, the school could purchase larger, stronger poles which will be placed 4.5 meters apart. They cost 175 rands each. Which option should the school choose and explain why? So, so of course, we need to go with option one, and then we also go with option two, and then we compare the two. So basically, that's what we have on that part. If we come here to the school board, said that a fence must be built around the playground. The straight sides of the playground will 43 meters long. So if you go back to our shape, you'd see that we are going to have the straight side will be this side and this side. And basically what is the question is saying each side will be 43 meters. So we have 43 meters this side and this side again be 43 meters. So we're going to say 43 plus 43 plus the circumference of the half a circle that we have here. So to find the circumference, we are going to say, to use the formula, circumference 2 pi r, of which is half, it's half circumference. So you're going to say half 2 pi r, half 2 pi r, so it's going to be half times 2 times pi times r. So of course, this and this will cancel each other and it becomes pi r. So we are going to say our pi is 3.142 and then we multiply by r, which is 36 meters is the diameter. Remember, we said the radius is going to be 36 divided by 2 to get our 18. So we multiply by 18. So with that, you see that the final answer that we are going to get for that same circle is 56.556 meters. And we round off to the nearest whole number. It becomes 57, or 5, it will change our 6 to become 7. So give 57 meters. So we have got this circumference. Then we add the 43 meters this side, the 43 meters the other side. So we are saying now total perimeter. Total perimeter we are now going to say this 57 meters plus the side of 43 meters plus the other side of 43 meters. So we calculate it like that to see that the total that we are going to get is 143 meters. So 143 meters is the total perimeter. And we now need to find the number of poles that are inside 143 meters. So if you say, look at option one, we start with option one, it has 3 meter intervals. So you need to see now how many poles, how many 3 meters can we get out of the total perimeter. So we start with option one, whereby it's 3 meters. So we are saying 143 divided by 3. By the 3 meters, and then we get the number of poles, which is going to be 47.6. We round off to the nearest whole number, it becomes 48. So these are poles. So we have 40, or approximately 48 poles on option one. So with those 48 poles, we're now going to see the total cost of those poles. We're going to multiply by, we're given that the poles cost 125 rands each on option one. So we multiply by 125. So we are now saying 48 times 125. And we are going to get the total cost is 100, I'll get it as 6,000 rands. So 6,000 is the total cost for option one. Then of course we need to do the calculation for option two. For option two, we are given that the space is the stronger poles, which will be placed 4.5 meters apart. So we're going to divide by 4.5 meters to get the number of poles. Remember, the total perimeter still remains the same, 143 meters. So we have 143 meters. Then we divide by 4.5 meters. Get the number of poles, which is going to be we divide, we get 31.7777. Of course, there is one number. These are poles. To the nearest whole number, it becomes 32 poles, approximately 32 poles. Then to get the total cost of those 32 poles, we're given that on option two, each pole is 175 rands each. So we multiply by 175. So we are now saying 32 times 175 rands. We get 5,600. So we have 5,600 rands total cost in option two. So the question is saying which option should we choose? And of course, we see that we choose the cheaper one. Option two has got 5,600 rands, and then option one is got 6,000 rands. So the cheaper one is option two with 5,600 rands. So our conclusion, we are going to say they should choose option two because it is cheaper. So basically, that's what we have on that part. So moving on to the next question, which is going to be our question 4. Question 4, restart the floor plan below and answer the questions that follow. So we're given the floor plan that we have here that you just need to go through. And then first part reads how many windows are there on display on this plan. So we check in terms of windows that we have, and of course we have got one here. We have the second window here, 3. We also have 4 and 5. So we are saying 5 windows. Then second part, how many interior doors are in the house? We check again. Interior, we check the inside doors that we have, and of course, we have 1 here. We have 2. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 interior doors. So we can indicate here as 7. Then in terms of 4.3, if someone would want to take a shower in this house, which room must the person use? So obviously we have got the master bathroom. Master bathroom is the room that must be used. And then I will go to 4.4. If you were to walk from the office to the kitchen, how many doors would you go through? Office to the kitchen. So we take note, office to the kitchen. So we go there, we identify the office, we identify the kitchen. So we can see that we have our office here, our kitchen here. So obviously walking to the kitchen. So this is the way that you're going to use, and you see that there is no door that you're going to face here. So it means we have got 0. We have got 0 doors. So basically, this is what we have, guys. And our question has got 8 marks. That is our question 4. So the total marks that we have according to this September test question paper, we have got 15 marks. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel and share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 10 mathematical literacy. Let's meet again in the next video.